For a while, this quarrel of Lagos the smell, Lagos the smell, Lagos the smell has been flying. When this NYC girl talk recently, Lagosians and our Yoruba brothers, who by extension believe that Lagos is their land, and of course it is, felt insulted. Every time this talk comes up, I feel it does not make sense that some people are feeling insulted, because it's a gospel truth that Lagos is smelling. But there are some other factors we are going to look into as to why Lagos is smelling. If you look at those factors, we when they blame Lagos, say Lagos is smell, will shut up. Those Lagosians where they vex, say that they insult Lagos, say Lagos is smell, they too go shut up. I was watching Sowore this morning, confirming the fact that Lagos is smell. Let me play this video.
Lagos is so smelly, they have to deodorize parts of Lagos. Like, the government of Lagos is pretty much carrying deodorants. Okay. Yes, Lekki doesn't smell. Come and stay there, you know. But Oshodi, we're working on it. Alagbado has a terrible, you know, any city, you know, or space in the world that is not taken care of, as should be taken care of, where sanitation is the last rule as opposed to being the first rule.
Okay.
The place will smell. Anywhere that is abandoned, misgoverned, mismanaged, will smell.
Of course.
There are parts of New York that smell.
Of course.
Yes. I've lived in New York for 25 years. I mean 20 years plus. There are parts of the UK, London, that smell. Anywhere that is abandoned will smell. But anywhere that is negligently, you know, abandoned,
that's the word, negligently,
the smelling capital of the world. And I think the only place that is competing with Lagos, I've never been to the place before. I heard Calcutta in India, Bombay, they have something in common in terms of the DNA smell with Lagos.
Okay.
So, but the one I know that I can say any day, anywhere, that is not in the hands of good sanitation people is Lagos. That's just the truth. And this is supposed to be the center of excellence.
Now, of a fact, Lagos the smell. Keep stories apart. Lagos is smelling. The next question I want to ask ourselves is, why is Lagos smelling? That's the question we need to ask ourselves. You see, in this issue of Lagos smelling, it's easy to point hands and blame Governor Sowore and blame the Lagos State government. It's very easy to blame them, because that's the easiest people to point to. And when you point to them, they have no defense, because they will not want to come and start exchanging words and defending themselves to make them sound more stupid. But the truth is, the fact that Lagos is smelling is the fault of everybody in Nigeria, not just Lagos. I repeat, everybody in Nigeria. Lagos State government, the people living in Lagos, those not living in Lagos, and the federal government. Everybody now cause the smell of Lagos, because when we blame the state government as if the state government is solely responsible. Now let's start from the government. There are these people in Lagos. We'll start from us, why we are responsible. Nigeria has 200 and something million people. Lagos has 20 something million people. That is 10% of people in the 36 states in Nigeria are living in Lagos. 10%. If you give every state 1%, if you divide everybody in this country equally, say everybody stay every state equally, people in Lagos not supposed to pass 7 million. But today it is 23 million. That's one. Secondly, Lagos is the smallest state in Nigeria, but housing the highest amount of people. Google the population of Germany. It is about 83 million. Germany is just a little bit more, 3 times more populated than Lagos. The full Germany as a country, just a little bit, 3 times more populated than Lagos. Now, Google the landmass of Germany. 357,000 kilometers square. Google the landmass of Lagos. 3,500. Which means Germany is 100 times bigger than Lagos, and just lesser than 4 times more populated than Lagos. It is like 4 people living in 100-bedroom flat and 1 person living in 1 room. That person living in 1 room go put a fridge, a TV, a bedroom, a toilet, a kitchen, a clothes, everything inside that 1 room. There's a high tendency that 1 room will be congested. But the 4 people living in 100-bedroom flat has a lot of rooms to put everything. In fact, they can decide say their shoe go dey 1 room, their TV go dey 1 room, their fridge go dey 1 room. When you talk for that house, you go echo. You go be like say that they do good job. No, they have the resources. In this country, the only state that comes close to Lagos in population is Kano. Kano is almost 10 times bigger, not 10 times, about 7 times bigger than Lagos. Yet Lagos is still more populated than Kano. Why does everybody want to live in Lagos? Every single person in Nigeria has a family member in Lagos. If you know they stay in Lagos, you get family member here. That's why I said everybody in Nigeria is responsible. And their dream is to come to Lagos. 60% of people in Nigeria have reached Lagos at least once. If that my statistics might not be correct. Why does everybody want to live in Lagos? The next thing you say is because the wealth is in Lagos. There are people in Lagos that have no business in Lagos, they still want to live here. They have no business in Lagos. There are IT people that can work from Zamfara, from their rooms, they still want to live here. Because I hear the club day. Now I hear the church day. Now I hear the party day. Now I hear the old bed. Everybody just wants to live in Lagos by all means. Now let's come to the part of the federal government. What will it take for federal government to put a wharf in every zone in Nigeria? This sea way past Lagos, now it past Delta State, now it past River State. Anambra have been crying. Politically, they don't just want to have another one. The biggest black nation in the world have just one wharf. Every car that comes into this country must come from through Lagos. What's it happen? To congest the state, for Christ's sake. Give people other things in other states where they can run to. If you put a wharf outside Lagos, so they go shock everybody. Now let's come to Lagos state government. The government themselves, I don't know who they direct them. Why is PSP being paid for? These trucks that pack dustbin should be everywhere in Lagos for free. Find another way to collect the money from the people through tax. You're already taxing us to the truth. So give us these amenities. Alaba alone not supposed to work out for Lagos. If you catch anyone, arrest them. But before you do that, make sure there's free trucks moving every creeks and crannies in Lagos, parking every dustbin they can park out. We should have trash bins on the road designated by the state government so that people don't have to throw dustbin on the ground. The state can fund it. That dustbin where the Ojota is not supposed to be there. Ojota is a residential area. It's in the middle of Magodo, Ojota, Ogudu, Ikeja, Oregu. It is smelly around these 5 areas. And then we have somewhere called Ibejuleki that is not so populated. Why not move this trash bin to that place? You have a pair. You have villages in Ikorodu. You can designate a whole town to this thing. Move the people there and give them land and property somewhere else. A town that is not so populated. Just move the people there. We can do that. So why are we not doing what we're supposed to do? And here to go about what I'm saying, we get one team vacuum in about 50 destinations in Lagos, taking a bad air. You don't need all that. Just be sanitatiously wise. So instead of feeling insulted, can we think on how to make this thing work?